Hey people, this new Facebook sucks, but I opened it up this morning and I found this memory from a couple years ago where I was reading this in Leviticus 13:55, and I've learned a lot more about reading this since, and so I always look back at my memories to see what it was. But this is what got me, was this word PHTT, continues eating away. And so I assumed it was fat, PHTT. And when I look at this closer, it has a different meaning. This is fit, PHTT. So the P is the pay, the mouth, or the face. And it was ancient builder's mark to mark the face of the stone. Don't mess this up. This is where I'm going to be carving my writings on. But the pay meant the face, and then the chet is the wall. The T is the mark or the seal. So when it says continue eating away, it's talking about shaping this stone. And so the face of the wall, the seal mark, this is where the seal's made, right here. You want a good seal, you want a good tight fit, PHTT. The face of the wall, the mark seal, a tight fit. The face of the wall, the seal, the join, the joinery. It's where you join the seal tight. And if you've never looked at this stuff before, you have to look at this. They told us in school that these old cavemen was beating on these stones with other stones and fitting these most beautiful, watertight, airtight fit stone walls. Just such a crock. We've been here forever, and these people had technologies that we don't have a clue. And this other word was infortu. This is the PH for F here, PHTT, and this is the Q, and Q is also a PH. Infor, QRHTU. It's where your word fort come from, in fortitude, in fortitude, in strength. The fit who in fortitude. Who fit in fortitude. And that's what it's talking about. This is old ancient star forts. They was all over the world. And they built them like this so they could get their gunners right out here to the edge. And so if somebody was trying to climb the wall, they could get a better shot at them from out here. They cover this side of the wall. And these stars, somebody climbing this wall, you can get them from here. Somebody climbing this wall, you get them from here. And so you can see it's talking about the plague has spread. And this is all wrong, but I've learned a lot since I've started reading this. So this is all written by sailors, and at night they send the buckaroos below, and this is when the control comes out. But this is where connect, Vav, connect, R first, A, knowledge, E is life, and that's the first knowledge of life for a sailor. You got to know where you're at before you start the con. The conning officer is the one telling the engines how fast to run, telling the rowers how fast to row, and telling the helms and which way to steer. He has the conning officer. Where the con, and then this starts with the A, so it reads backwards, JRHA. Where the conjure. Ooh, that's when you're conjuring up a spell, is where that word would be used. The conjure is something created. Or the conjure. And then you hit this wall, so you read it all the way back here, backwards. And so it's the J-R-H-A, the gyro. You know, the to turn around, the conjure. Where the conjure, turn around, to turn, the gyro, the neck, N-E-K, N-E-K-E, the neck. The E-A-R, here to, where the conjure, gyro, the neck, here to. You heard something, you turned around. The cubes, the K-B-S, you know, they added a A between this B, but you could just add a U in there instead. The cubes. The cubes, 2, and then this 2 is reading backwards, starts with an A, so it's T-A or T-O, 2. And then the TAC has me read this backwards and forwards, and that's O-G-N-E-N-G-O. You can see that word engine in there. And that's where the word engine. I did a couple movies on to Nig the Gin, and this is Nig the Gin backward. The cycles of the foot to see, the one that's actually doing the works. You can see that here. The N is the cycle of the waters, the waves. And the G, this is, they say, is a plant stand, the Nig, you know, the Nig. And so Nig was also a worldwide, a god of the mountains, and there was many Nigs. But this is the Nig, the bull gods, Nig and cow, the four-horned bull god of heaven, the Niga, the Nigau. Generic term for bull is the Nigau, N-G-A-U, Nigau. Ogden and go. O-G is an ancient word for foot, and you see some shoes still called Ogs today. The Ogden, to footin' and go. The cubes, to footin' and go, to carrying the cubes, the big blocks. So the Egyptians were cutting theirs in cubes. They weren't making all the fancy shapes. The cubes, to ogden and go, the footin' and go, to tote the blocks. And then this is when, W-E-N-E, connect the cycle of life. E is the, or life, and the N is the cycle, or the seed. The M is the waters, but the N is the cycle of the waters, the tides, the waves. And it was drawn like waves in the oldest languages. When, at the time of this happening, where the conjure turn the neck hereto, the cubes to see gin and go. When, and then this LA is not, it's sometimes it's low, which is less than high, but it's usually just a part of a word, and this has the tack, so this reads backwards, and so this is K-P-E-P-K, and so it's lack pep, P-E-P. To lack pep, you kind of slow down the engine when lack pep, when it's slowed down, and then this K, final K, goes with the next words. K-E-N, it's like the con again, the control. When the lack the pep, con go. To, and then reading backwards and forwards again, W-N is short for when, like when here, when a word is connected in several words, they'll cut it short, the same as we do today. When we piece words together, we take out letters. But it's the when, and then the little apostrophe up there is the yah, the J-I or the Y. Could be either one, so it's J-O, and then back this way it's I-N, when joined to. J-O-I-N, and Vav is connected, when joined to. When lack pep can go to when joined to. When goal, Gola. When the goal, what your goal is. When the goal, and then backwards and forwards. This, es, e is the, and then an s, this, and then back the other ways, pse, push. When the goal, this push. You know, you the con, you're pushing the engine. And when lack pep, when it slows down, can go to when join to when goal, this push. Join is what a word used for doing masonry work. It's called joinery. This is done with joinery. When joined to, when goal, this push. When you're pushing the goal of joinery. And then them, th is to collect from power. Them who collect from power of life-connected knowledge. Is who. Who is not it. Most of the time it's he or she, whoever you were talking about. You were talking about the engine over here. And them who, when goal, this push, them who bash, B-A, and this S has a dot on the right side on top, and that means it's pronounced S-H, to bash. When them who bash, to usurp, you see the S has the dot on the other side now, it's just pronounced S. To usurp, new. To usurp is what taxes are all about. They're trying to usurp all of your power. To syrup is when you boil down the sap and get all the water out of it. It leaves you a thick syrup. To syrup, new. To syrup is kind of like what they're doing with this plague. They're trying to kill off the weak. And there is no plague. The plague is the television. And all the weak are dying from what they're seeing on TV. People are killing themselves at a huge rate right now. Most of your corona deaths come from suicides. And that's what the idea is, to syrup, to get rid of the weak and brew up the syrup, the new. To fit the face, the wall, the mark, the seal. To fit who in fortu, in strength. To fit who in strength, in fortu, of. We just read this of is because people didn't know. They knew it meant of, but they were at AV. They didn't know to read it backwards, but it's still of, and it's the connected knowledge. And if I'm talking about you, I'm talking about the knowledge connected to you. I'm talking of you. The big butt too. BGBHTU. And this has many meanings, but yeah, why do you think the white girls are all starting to grow butts these days? Only the strong are going to survive. And your butt, that low center of gravity, that's where your strength is, in that big butt. So this word, the big butt too, the BGBHTU, this is the BGB is B is in, and then the G is to carry, to lift, to carry in, the chet is the wall, and carrying the wall too, the writing's connected. And so this all has another meaning, but this is the poetry on the top. But you can see where the word comes from in the big butt too. But it means in lift, in G, in lift, in wall too. So this is poetry, and I think it's trying to rhyme with this who down here. So I'll try to read it where it rhymes. It's where the conjure gyra neck hereto. The cubes to organ go when lack pep give and go to. When joined to when goal this push them who bash to serp new fit who. We want the new fit people. We don't want no skinny lazies left. In fort to of big butt to. In the fort to. In your strength. In your fortitude of the big butt to. So they got this all twisted around. They're saying that the taskmasters is the niggas. NGSI. And that's a lie. They got this all twisted around. You ever see a Jew with a big butt? You see all these words that they give the taskmasters here. The NG, the cycle, the foot. The ones that's actually doing the work. And this word for Hebrew is the OVR, over yod, the work. The overwork. That's the ones who was over the work. They got this totally flipped around here. The overworks, the ovary, over them, the overs. You can see here it's given the same word, OBRI. This is the same word that means passed over usually when it comes up. OVRI. There's no dot in the B. It's over. Over the works. You can see it in beginning of Deuteronomy 9:1 and to cross over. OVR. The over. The ones above. All these words meaning overs are spelled the same as Hebrew minus the I at the end. The I, yod, meaning work. Over the work. You can see it here. The same word for Hebrews is over. Overwork. Passed over. To cross. Went over. To pass over is the ovary. The same word for Hebrews. And so this would be your workers here. This is the niggas. They're cycling the foot. They're doing the actual work. They're carrying. This is the ancient letter A. It's a symbol of knowledge, of power. You see it here again. So letter A. Knowledge and power. This would be your Hebrews here. These are the ones that's over the work. The taskmasters. Over the works. But it's time for the Christians to wake up, because the God of heaven and earth is Allah. It's right here in your Hebrew Bible. The God of Israel. His name is Allah. The God of heaven perfect is Allah. God of Jerusalem. Allah. To heaven it be done. Allah. Of my fathers. Allah. Heaven reveals Allah. Of heaven a kingdom. Allah. Time for Christians to wake up. You are the problem. You are what's going to ruin this nation. All right. Good day.